Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with SureCall. Today's host is Jason Hayes. He is their National Account Manager, and he's presenting today. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to submit them in the question box, and Jason will answer them at the end of today's presentation. Jason, thank you so much for being with us again today. Appreciate your time. Looking forward to what you've got to talk about and present with us today. So please go ahead and take it on over.
Thanks, Julie. I appreciate that. Yeah, always a pleasure. I'm excited to be with the Microcom team today, talk about some of the changes to the mobile booster landscape, and also introduce a new product. So yeah, we've got a lot of great things to talk about today, so let's just jump into it. This is kind of my overview here for mobile solutions for SureCall. Left to right, we've got the Fusion Trek, then the End Range, the Fusion to Go 3.0, and the new one that we're really going to touch on is the Fusion to Go 3.0 Fleet. And so, like I said, I'm excited to jump in and talk to you about some of the ins and outs of these various products. Keep in mind that all of SureCall's boosters are sold as complete kits. That's an FCC requirement, but they include antennas, cable, connectors, everything that you need in the box to install this, set it up, and make it work for your phone. These are all FCC and Industry Canada and carrier approved and certified. 3-year warranty. We always include lifetime pre and post sales and tech support. Those of you that have been with me in the past, you already know all this stuff, so let's move on. First off, I want to talk about the SureCall Fusion Trek a little bit. The Fusion Trek has two main components, the outside antenna / booster and the inside antenna, which mounts on the dash or what have you. The cool thing about this product is that you don't have any outside wires. You don't have to put an antenna on the roof at all. You don't have to worry about removing an antenna if you go through the car wash or anything like that. It's a very simple enclosed solution, plug and play, foolproof setup, and retails for $199. So for around $200, you get the benefit of having a full signal boost in your vehicle. I've got a couple of lifestyle images that I included in this one. You can see the main antenna component of the Fusion Trek and how it can kind of set on the back shelf or the back window of the vehicle. Like you see in the image here, it's very unobtrusive. It won't block your field of vision very much at all. It's a very narrow, slim profile. It also comes with a suction cup mount so that if you have a pickup truck or a van or something like that and you need to suction it to the back window, it's easy to do that, installs very simply and is removed very simply as well. And then, of course, that all connects to the magnetic Cradle mount, which again can clip to the vents on your dashboard or wherever it's convenient, really. So the phone that's in that Cradle is going to receive a full signal boost, even though that antenna actually does broadcast into the vehicle a little bit as well. So this is a great way to stay connected for $199, simple plug and play, and no outside wires. The SureCall End Range is kind of a similar idea. It's a little bit of an upgrade to the Fusion Trek, if you will. The End Range also has the booster technology built right into the magnetic outside antenna. So this one does have an outside antenna, but it's a very sleek, kind of a shark fin antenna, very heat resistant and durable and rugged. This also is very simple to install. MSRP is the same, $199, but because the antenna is on the roof, it's going to give you a little bit more of a signal boost than the Fusion Trek. I've gotten a little bit better reception in my area with the End Range than I have with the Fusion Trek, just depending on the terrain, how remote you are, how rugged it is, distance from the cell tower, that kind of thing. All those things come into play. So the SureCall End Range is a good entry-level booster unit if you don't mind having that magnet antenna on the roof. This is kind of what it looks like set up and installed. It's a very powerful antenna on the base there. It's not going to move. And then, of course, you've got the same magnetic Cradle antenna for the phone. So just another option there, and a great little booster unit. Our most powerful booster is the Fusion 2 Go 3.0. Some of you are probably familiar with this. We've had the Fusion 2 Go in our lineup for a long time. Previously, obviously, it was the Fusion 2 Go 2.0. The 3.0, we boosted the uplink and downlink power both, and actually made a couple of modifications to our magnetic antenna, which gives it a little bit more distance, more range on it. So this is kind of an overview shot of the kit. 2G, 3G, 4G LTE, like all of our boosters, and this one actually supports multiple users easily. It doesn't come with a magnetic cradle or anything like that. It actually has that slim antenna that is designed to be centrally located in the cab of the vehicle. So whether it's the shoulder armrest of the seat or on the center console somewhere, it will actually transmit that boosted signal for all phones in the vehicle simultaneously. This one retails for $399, and I've got an install diagram so you can kind of see how that works. You've got the magnet mount antenna on the roof, which connects to the booster. Best place for the booster is under one of the seats, and then from there we go to the inside antenna and just plug it into the power supply, the cigarette lighter area. So that's kind of how that Fusion 2 Go 3.0 would install. And then, of course, the highlight for today is the Fusion 2 Go 3.0 Fleet. So this is the exact same Fusion 2 Go 3.0 booster and inside antenna, but it includes an NMO permanent mount, permanent installation antenna, along with the hardwire kit and the correct power supply and all that to make this a permanent installation. So for fleet guys especially, this is a necessity. MSRP on that's a little bit more, it's $439, but like the Fusion 2 Go 3, it's going to support multiple users, has the same warranty, etc. So this is a great one if you want all the power and you want none of the headache of having to worry about your magnet antenna. This is a permanent installation, give you that signal boost down the road forever and ever. So you can see kind of same type of install diagram, except the NMO, of course, is a permanently mounted antenna. I want to talk a little bit too about a new vehicle signal booster that's apparently optimized for antiquated technology. This is I highlighted a comparison here because one of our competitors recently released a new signal booster, and they launched this booster kit claiming that it has the highest uplink power in the industry, 29.5 dBm. I'll show you a comparison sheet here in a second, but this message is a little bit misleading because the 29.5 dBm uplink only supports 2G GSM networks, which is a sunsetting technology. So just to help set the record straight, using published FCC data, we've found, and I'll show you here in a minute, the 29.5 dBm high power spec is only on that GSM band. So that will soon be obsolete. In the US, Verizon and Sprint never used this narrowband technology. AT&T shut down their GSM network in 2017. T-Mobile and Rogers in Canada are both saying that they'll shut this off, or the remaining areas where they use it, in 2020. So right now, today, the vast majority of cellular connections are made over broadband, such as CDMA, HPSA+, LTE, etc. So the uplink power in broadband is how performance really should be measured. So this begs the question, why launch a signal booster that is optimized for a technology that is being shut down by 2020? And the answer is I'm not really sure, but I'll show you here in a second the comparison that the Fusion 2 Go 3.0 is still the most powerful broadband mobile booster in the frequency bands that matter the most when you're out on the fringe in rural areas and at the edge of the network. And so here's my comparison sheet. You can see the different bands: AT&T LTE, Verizon LTE, cellular. And so these are the common broadband bands Booster X versus Fusion to Go 3, and I've highlighted there, we kind of have a better performance on all three of those. So that's kind of just a quick look at the competitor booster and how the Fusion to Go 3.0 really stacks up against it. As always, we have our in-house tech support, a USA-based tech support, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time. There's the number. And I've always attached this link to our digital asset library to download images, spec sheets, install diagrams, install guides, anything that you need for your customers to really help promote the product or answer questions. I have provided there for you. This is my information. I'm always available to you. If you need something, if you have a question, that's my cell phone number, that's my email address. Feel free to reach out to me anytime with anything you need. And I have a feeling we're going to have a few questions on this, so I'm going to go ahead and open it up to questions right now.
Thank you very much, Jason. Appreciate that. Enjoyed your coverage today of this new information. Got a question here. Let's start with this one. Can the adhesive on the antenna be replaced multiple times?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know that I've ever come across that before. So the adhesive on the antenna, there really isn't any adhesive on the antenna. I assume they're talking about the inside patch antenna for the Fusion to Go 3.0. That inside antenna, it actually has a Velcro on the back of that patch antenna, so that you can attach it to the shoulder or armrest of the seat. However, it probably does include, I think it does include an adhesive patch as well, and I would assume you can clean it off and reuse it. It's a great question. To be honest with you, it's not a question I've ever come across. My answer is I think so. Let me check into that, and I can maybe get back with Julie, and she can post something on the website later on or something about the adhesive.
Excellent. Thank you for that. And yes, I can certainly do that. I can let everybody know. Thank you, Jason. Next question here. Could one use the Fusion to Go for mobile homes and RVs, or is that something else that they would use?
Yeah, that's a great question. Absolutely. And it's not something that I really delved into today, but we have talked a little bit about in the past. The Fusion to Go 3.0 does have an RV version, which has an RV antenna and a little bit bigger inside antenna. It's really capable of boosting an entire RV. And so it's the exact same part number, but it has an RV at the end of it. So the answer is, yeah, we do have one. It's a little bit more expensive because the components are bigger and badder, but definitely have an RV version of that kit, yes.
Excellent, thank you. Does SureCall sell these products to any government agencies for their vehicles, like their trucks or fire trucks, ambulances, police cars, that sort of thing?
Yes, absolutely. Typically that's done through distributors like Microcom or whomever, but yeah, some of our distributors have specific government programs where they kind of run our products through those. Trying to think of a good example. We recently did one for, this is going to sound strange, but it's for an Air Force base, and they have a fleet of cars or trucks that we outfitted, and I want to say it was about 300 of these. And it was actually the magnetic antenna version. So I don't know if they'll be looking at switching to a permanent mount, but the answer is, yeah, we do a lot of fleets with this product because it's just a great performing product, kind of a home run on the price as well for what you're getting. So yeah.
Excellent, thank you. Will it further support 5G?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm getting a lot of questions about 5G right now, and the short answer is no, these products will not. The 5G frequencies are very different. Just to give you a quick breakdown regarding 5G. So T-Mobile and Sprint have some 5G frequencies that are on the low end and the high end of kind of our standard spectrum, and that won't be a big issue. But the majority of 5G that's going to be rolling out at some point is what's called millimeter wave. So it's a super high frequency. So none of the standard boosters that we have or that you see out there in the marketplace really address that. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out. I know our engineers are behind closed doors working on it to address that when the time comes, but that's honestly probably at least a couple of years out. I remember the hype when 4G came out. 5G is going to be a little bit more of a jump because we're talking about millimeter waves. So unfortunately, these boosters and none of these boosters that are out in the marketplace right now, whether they're for vehicles or buildings, will actually accommodate that super high frequency millimeter wave 5G.
Thank you for that, Jason. Appreciate it. Can you tell us a little bit about where the products are manufactured?
Yeah, absolutely. So the owner of SureCall is Hong Taojian. He's a first-generation Chinese American. Came to America when he was in his 20s and basically started designing and selling his SureCall boosters out of the back of his van. So, I mean, kind of the American dream, if you will. He is from China. We do own a factory in China now, and all of our products are manufactured in that factory in China, just outside of Hong Kong. And much of the assembly actually takes place in the USA, but they come from our factory, and then they ship from our main office in Fremont, California.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Regarding your contact information, can we pretty much get a hold of you Pacific time? Would that be the best?
Yeah, I'm on Mountain Time, but
okay.
But yeah, I'm usually available around the clock, and I travel quite a bit too. So you may not always get me answering the phone, depending on if I'm doing a training or if I'm on an airplane or something like that. But I'm pretty good about responding to my messages. Email is probably the best if you want a quick response. I typically go through my emails before I get over to the voicemail, but up to you. I'm available and I'll get back to you as quick as I can.
Excellent. Thank you. Next question. I know you touched on a couple new things here today. Is there any way to give us a preview about what SureCall may be looking to do in the near future, or is that something that we have to wait for? In other words, is there any more you can share with us?
That's actually a great question. Let me give you a quick peek behind the curtain. This is slated for July-August timeframe. We have a product that will be launched very soon called the Fusion to Go Max, and more than likely it's going to be similar to the Fusion to Go 3.0, but they've actually just made some adjustments and essentially maxed everything out to what the FCC will allow. So think of kind of the most powerful mobile booster allowed by law is kind of the way to think of it. But like I say, it'll be called the Fusion to Go Max. I don't have a price point on it yet, and I don't have a specific release time, but I'm guessing July-August timeframe.
Excellent. We could have a webinar at that time, and we'll have more information about it, and of course questions. Can't wait for it.
Yeah, absolutely. We would love that.
Terrific. Thank you. Jason, thank you so much for answering all those questions for us today. And thanks to everyone for attending. If anyone has any further questions, of course, please feel free to contact your sales rep or email us at sales@microcomtech.com. Let's see here. And if anyone wishes to view some products of SureCalls that we have, please visit us at www.microcom.us. And remember, this webinar presentation has been recorded and will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel so we can view it again and again. Thank you, Jason, for your time today. We certainly appreciate it, as always, and looking forward to speaking with you and having a webinar again in the near future.
Awesome. Thanks, Julie. Always a pleasure. I appreciate being with your team. Thanks.
Appreciate it. Bye-bye now.
All right. Bye-bye.